Welcome back, guys. This is Inside FPL on the Locker Room Vibes. So, Gameweek 7 is done, and as FPL managers, I'm sure some managers would be very excited, others not too well, not too much, but we're still hoping for the best. So, Gameweek 7, as I said, is done. It's done and dusted. As FPL managers, how did your team go? In this video, would give you analysis of how Game Week 7 went, the some key players who performed, others that didn't really show so much, and would give you an overview of how things look like and what to expect in the subsequent game weeks. All right, so before we do get into it, I would like you to kindly subscribe, leave a comment, let's know how well you did and what your plans are heading into game week 8. All right, so let's get into it. So getting into it, as I said, Game Week 7 is done. There was an average of 60 points. So on an average, most managers or most FPL managers really performed this game week. Highest being 135. Let's see what he did right. So of course, he did it with a bench boost, which is a plus. If you can do this with a bench boost, I'm sure it's going to really boost him across most of his leagues, and that is the aim for most managers, to be able to rise amongst your colleagues and even worldwide. So let's look at his team. He had Martinez, he had Timber, he had Van Hecke, he had Rice, Caicedo, Semenyo. So he had the constants. As I said, if you remember in my previous video, I mentioned that if you are not too sure who to select, just go with the players or most managers are going for. And I'm sure, and he had most of them, so which is a plus for him. He had a few different players as well, but all in all, it was a good selection from him. His bench as well, also delivering the goods. He played bench boost. So he had Raya, he had Mateta, Menez, he had Pedro Pro. So all in all, it's giving him about 20 something plus points, which is a plus. So with this, he's already hitting around 100 thereabouts from his team. So it's a good selection. So even without a bench boost, he would have still hit maximum or hit very high points, because he captained a very good player who performed this week, and he had other players also performing. So that was a good one from him. Let's look at how the fixtures went. So with the fixtures, all in all, it started on Friday. Bournemouth beating Fulham by 3-1. Courtesy of Semenyo's brace. It was a good performance from him. So any manager that had him, that is a plus to you. Then followed by Leeds United taking on Spurs. Spurs beating them by 2-1. Kind courtesy of a Kudus goal and an assist. So that is also a plus for any manager who had him. Arsenal at home to West Ham and beating them by 2-0. So if you remember rightly, I mentioned Saka as a captaincy option. So if you really listened, it would be a plus for you. Then Manchester United Sunderland, I didn't really see this coming, but it was a good performance nevertheless from Manchester United, beating Sunderland by 2-0 at home. Chelsea at home beating Liverpool by 2-1. So there was no Palmer, but we had Estavo, then we had Caicedo also delivering the goals. Liverpool, rather unfortunately, couldn't really provide, but you had Gakpo in the mix also giving a goal for some managers. So we didn't have Salah, so Salah was able to provide for us, which is rather unfortunate. So we'll see how the other games will go. And this season looks like things are not really going his way, but fingers crossed, this is Salah. He's provided, or he's been consistent over the last few seasons, and we hope this season he also performs. So on Sunday, it continued with Aston Villa taking on Burnley. Aston Villa winning by 2-1. I expected a win. Very good performance by Aston Villa. Everton at home to Crystal Palace, beating them by 2-1. We had Ndeye and Grealish in the mix for Everton. We had Menez for Crystal Palace in the mix thereabouts. Newcastle at home beating Nottingham Forest by 2 goals to 0. So I had Voltamed who scored a penalty. So good performance there as well from him. Nottingham Forest still struggling under their new manager Postecoglou. Let's see how things goes for him. Then we have Wolves taking on Brighton. So this match ended 1-1. So very good, very interesting performance match there. Then it ended with City taking on Brentford. So City beating Brentford 1-0. Kankesti of a Haaland goal. So managers with Haaland still enjoy the returns, which is quite good. So all in all, it's been very interesting this game week. We'll look at how some managers perform or how the top managers so far worldwide are performing. Let's go through a few. So number one, there's a team. He had 108 points with a triple captain. So he tripled captain Haaland. So I think Haaland had 8 or something points. Triple captain gave him 24. He had Pedro in the mix. He had Caicedo. He had Kudus. He had quite a number of other, quite a good team. So it wasn't bad all in all. So even without that, he would have been hitting somewhere around 90 to 80 points, which is really good. So he's number one. So let's see what number two did, right? So he had Timber, he had Saliba, Gabriel. So he had the Arsenal defenders, very solid guy. Went with Semenyo, Caicedo, Tonali in the middle. Up front, he went with Haaland, Joao Pedro. So very conserved or very um, diplomatic team, but he still got his selections right. So that is what we are looking at. And he didn't use any chip as well. So 3-2 didn't use third. The world didn't use any chip, and he's up there. So that is very good. So he had Salah, I mentioned him. He had Voltamed, I mentioned him in my previous video. He captained Haaland, very good one there. He has Semenyo, Kudus, I mentioned all of them. Even mentioned Kudus as a differential captain. Voltamed as a differential captain. So if you captained him, you should be getting 12 points. Haaland given 16th with his 8 points. We had Timber, Vadil, Van der Ven, Muniz, Raya. So all in all, very good team here. Very good team. He would have wanted to have Rendes on the bench and Indaya on the pitch, but you can never get all things right. So, but all in all, his selection was quite good. So if he used a chip, he would have gone. So let's see what the fifth person did right. So he had Raya, he had Ben, Trippier, Timber, Semenyo, Kudus, Caicedo, Haaland. So the constants in Haaland, Semenyo, Kudus, once you have them, you should be good to go. The differentials I would say would be Timber, then other players, Caicedo, based on how well you'd want them to be during the game week. So for game week 7, so the top performers, we have Haaland leading the charts, followed by, okay, so we have Haaland leading the charts, followed by Semenyo, then Gabriel, then Alderete, we had Caicedo, we have Gravenberch in the mix, we had Burn, we have Rice, we have Vadil, all in the mix thereabouts. So these players are really performing, or they've performed so far. And for game week 7, we have Semenyo leading the charts with 18 points. So if you didn't have him, you know you've lost quite a good number of points. Marlon, most managers wouldn't really, I'm not sure most managers considered him looking at the selection percentile. So Semenyo 58.4%. That is a good number of managers. Then Marlon 0.6. So if you had him and you had him in your team starting, that is a plus. Bruno Guimaraes 2.1. So most managers didn't really also consider him, but he provided a goose. Vadil 5.3. He also provided a goose. Kudus, I'm surprised most managers didn't have him, but 32.5. It was a good number, but not too much. And that is also good. At least he also provided a goose. Timber 17.0 provided a goose. Rice provided a goose 8.7. Van Hickey 0.8. So it looks like this is just some few constants who performed. Others it kept rotating. So with the Haalands, with the Semenyos, these were the players performing. But you look at other players like Estavo, you look at Saka. Most managers in Haaland, most managers had 60.0% of managers had, which is it's quite a huge number. So looking at that, it's they were the top performers so far this game week, giving points as high as 18, coming down to 15, 14, 12, 11, 11, 11. So very good performance from them this game week. So it's been very good, as I said. So Semenyo leading the charts with transfers in, followed by Haaland and Volta Riyad Caicedo, Kudus. So the selection rate was quite okay, quite okay. Let's see how the other fixtures would look like coming from game week 7. So as I said, after game week 7, we'll be heading into a 2-week international break, after which we come back to continue. So heading into game week 8, this is how the fixtures are looking. Nottingham Forest taking on Chelsea, Brighton taking on Everton, Burnley, Leeds, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, City, Everton, Sunderland, Wolves, Fulham, Arsenal. Then the next day, that will be Sunday, we have Spurs, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Manchester United, West Ham, Brentford. There's a lot to think about, and we'll be giving you 1 or 2 videos before game week 8, doing some few analysis who to really consider. But with this team that we have, if you had most of the players, the constants that we talked about, the players that most managers had, I think heading into game week 8, you should be okay without so many transfers, because this game week still looks very solid with the team that most managers have. So if you have a team that has most of these players, you should be good to go with little to no transfers. But if you feel like your team is not good, you don't have any of that, just give it a week or two. Let's see how the international break plays out. After which you would most definitely want to consider using your wild card, because it will be a good option for you now. Change up your team, get some of these good players in there, get them. Let's see how things go, because we have City at home. They want to keep their form going. You have Arsenal taking this Fulham team. It could be tricky, but you still hope for the best. Spurs taking on Aston Villa at home. Interesting one there. So we'll see how all of this goes and how everything plays out. So just keep glued, subscribe, like, and in the subsequent videos we'll keep you updated.